All right. My name's Danny Mecca. I ended up doing physical self for the Wellbeing presentation. Um, Within the physical self, the key factors are exercise and diet, but I believe that activity in general is a better statement because exercise can have a stereotypical definition, and just general activity as a whole can have a positive or negative effect. For instance, when someone's sedentary, they're going to have probably a lower life expectancy than someone who is more physically active, not necessarily someone who exercises constantly, even though research shows that both diet and exercise have a positive impact and show a greater life expectancy. Within diet, I mean, why should we have a healthy diet? You know, research shows in numerous areas that diet and the nutrients that you feed your body have a positive impact on in the physiology of our bodies systemically. Our digestive tract itself, is shown to have its own nervous system, where it actually has more neural input than the brain itself. And so that just shows the importance of how, the nutrients that we provide our bodies, as we mechanically process them and then chemically break them down through different thermogenic properties and systems, that it's going to help us out in the long run. I believe in having a healthy diet, that proper macronutrients through whole foods is better than supplementation, even though within a clinical setting that might not be possible. Like, for instance, with someone who has diabetes, they need to supplement, but if you have the ability to, and are I guess a normal or healthy individual to begin with, then whole foods is better. So having a good variation in diet with different macronutrients of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. I personally used to always think carbohydrates were the devil, and that's just because I used to weigh a lot, and so when I began losing weight, I took pretty extreme measures and cut out almost all carbohydrates, even though I was training a lot still. But now it's pretty notes to me that through like the classes that I've taken throughout my degree, that carbohydrates are pretty essential for even brain function and activity. So one of my two questions to have my group think about is, do you have a healthy diet? Is it balanced, or do you even partake in maybe the keto diet or one of the other kind of mainstream diets that are going on right now? And I'd like to hear more about maybe why it is that you are going that route. And then physical self, exercise, or physical activity. Exercise is huge. I believe that someone who does partake in physical exercise on a regular basis is going to have a greater life expectancy, as research does determine, than someone who just is not sedentary but doesn't exercise regularly. And but then there's the physical activity of lifestyle choices. Like someone who's in construction is obviously going to have a greater total daily energy expenditure than someone who sits at a computer all day and just snacks. Even if they end up having a proper or well balanced diet, they won't have the caloric expenditure than someone who is a construction worker or just has a more physically demanding job. And then there's life as a whole between connecting diet and physical activity within the physical self. I'd encourage people to think of that it's not about, life isn't about finding yourself, as we all tend to kind of hear and promote to others in our lives, but it's about creating yourself. Because the physical self is about the diet and the activity, and that both of those things are by choice, which to me encourages me personally, because I like having control over things as much as possible, which isn't always going to be the case, I'm sure. But yeah, and then so my second question to have my group kind of develop in their heads and let me know about is, do you exercise regularly, or are you more physically active in general? Like, is your lifestyle just more physically active and more demanding than what you would consider average? So